Chris?
Hmm.
Okay, let me set the stage right now. We have about 10, 15 minutes for this. So we both got to come out fighting pretty quickly. Here's the stage for this. Martin Landau, an actor that film fans might remember from Crimes and Misdemeanors, the Woody Allen film.
They know who Martin Landau is.
They know who Martin Landau is. Come on, anyone who watched Space 1999 and Meteor. They're not idiots. Come on.
Mission Impossible, you know.
Yeah. Well, frankly, several people that I talked to have no idea who he is. So
could be their orthodontist. I mean, come on.
And Ed Wood, he won the Oscar for Ed Wood in '95.
Well,
now,
there you go.
Okay.
Don't forget Intersection.
Which he did not win the Oscar for.
I know, but just don't forget Intersection.
Okay, so he's on a high. He just won the Oscar for Ed Wood. His career, I mean, he's not necessarily a household name, but he's always worked, usually in stuff that is subpar for the most part.
What about Tucker? He was good in Tucker.
All right, we need to, okay. But he hasn't really gotten the recognition he deserved until Ed Wood came, and now he's on top again. He got the opportunity to do a part that eventually went to Don Rickles in Martin Scorsese's Casino, immediately following Ed Wood. He turned that down because he said there was not a part there. Instead, he chose to do BAPS, which is the film with Halle Berry, directed by Robert Townsend. Okay, my argument. Are you ready to start this thing? Let's hang on. I got something. Let's start this thing right now. Okay.
Wow, we're moving up in the world.
My argument is, you know, you've been struggling and scraping through doing, you know, lower end stuff. You hit a good Woody Allen wave, and then you go back down, and finally you got your Oscar. You're able to do a prestige picture with Martin Scorsese, and you turn it down, no matter what the role is. You turn it down to do BAPS. That's the equivalent of Cuba Gooding Jr. going from Jerry Maguire to Beau Tripp, you know, as opposed to a small part in a Scorsese movie. I mean, I don't see the reasoning for that. I think he made a major mistake.
His reasoning, and he said this to Martin Scorsese, was, this is a nothing part. You give me a part, and I'd love to do your movie. That's what he said to him. And so, why? And he's right. There's no part there. You can't even remember anything about that part from that movie. I mean, if you do, it's just, you know... It's
Don Rickles holding a shotgun.
Yeah, because it happened to be Don Rickles, and the idea of him holding a gun or being in a situation like that is hilarious.
Meanwhile, what do you remember about his part in BAPS?
I didn't even see BAPS. I'm not defending taking the movie BAPS. I'm defending not taking the role in Casino.
This is like the McLaughlin group.
He made a moronic move, dude. I mean, I don't care how small the part is. Scorsese offers you something, especially in that position where a good prestige picture, just to say that you're a part of it, will cement your place.
He was just in a prestige picture. He just won an Academy Award for a prestige picture.
A prestige picture that nobody saw.
That doesn't matter. It's a good movie. Don't bust on Tim Burton, all right?
Okay, let me ask you this then.
No, I love Tim Burton. I think it's the greatest I think it's the best Tim Burton movie of his career, but nobody saw it.
All right. Al Pacino's never made a Martin Scorsese movie. Are you telling me that if Martin Scorsese called up Al Pacino and offered him the Don Rickles part, that Al Pacino should have accepted it?
You're talking about somebody that's been the lead of his own classic, iconic films throughout his entire career. I think if Scorsese called Pacino to do a supporting role, he would.
No, not a supporting role. The Don Rickles role.
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't.
Why wouldn't he take that?
Because it's not worthy of him.
Uh-huh. So that's why Martin Landau didn't take it.
Right.
Just like Martin Landau and Al Pacino are not in the same category, Martin Landau and Don Rickles aren't in the same category.
Well, let's not start busting on Don Rickles, okay? I mean...
I'm not busting on Don Rickles, but he's not an actor.
No, he's not. He's a comedian, first and foremost. I mean...
Maybe that part needed an actor to come through.
There's nothing there. No, I don't.
Maybe there's nothing there how it is now because Don Rickles ended up playing it.
No, that's not what it is. There's good lines in that movie.
I'd like to interfere for a second, and I'd just like to say that Don Rickles' greatest moment, or his greatest moments, are on The Tonight Show, when he destroyed Johnny Carson's ashtray, and Johnny Carson then went on the set of, what was it, SKR Sharkey or whatever, when they were taping it, and said, what did you do to my ashtray when you were hosting the show in my absence? I mean, that's Don Rickles' greatest moment. But okay, let's back to the fight of the century.
Yeah. Anyway, he's not in a position. He's not in a position.
He's absolutely in that position. He just won the Academy Award, and he was great in that movie. And let's also, he's been in plenty of good movies. He was in Crimes and Misdemeanors. He was on the TV show Mission Impossible. The guy. He was in Meteor.
Yeah, and those are only 20 years apart. And 20 years is a lifetime. He's on top again. He's a name. Wouldn't it be better for him not to soil his reputation by doing BAPS and instead going with a Martin Scorsese film, no matter what part you got in it?
Nothing part in a Martin Scorsese film. That's like Scarlett Johansson calling me up, asking me to come over and clean her toilet. I'd love to go to Scarlett Johansson's house, but not to clean the toilet. It doesn't.
You would be there in a second, man.
No, I wouldn't.
Well, I think that he's all high and mighty turning down this part in Scorsese.
No, he's an actor. There's nothing there.
He was in Rounders. He was in Ed TV.
Yeah, he's high and mighty, turning, on principles, turning down a Scorsese movie, and then he completely shatters it by taking BAPS instead. All that high and mighty, highfalutin crap just crumbles to the ground. Just crumbles because he takes. That
doesn't make him high and mighty because he wants. He said.
Bernie Mac was in BAPS.
He wasn't just trying to turn down Martin Scorsese. He specifically said, there's nothing in this part. I'd love to work with you, but, give me something to do. Give me a challenge. He wanted to work with Martin Scorsese. But, frankly, I think it's an insult to offer. He is Martin Scorsese. Like, he makes great movies. Like, it's not like he's never going to make a bomb. It is possible, An actor doesn't know that. He's got to have something to do. That's his job.
Maybe he won the part in Condon.
He should have taken a cue from someone that really admires his work. Like one of the first phone calls he got was from Jack Nicholson after he won the Oscar that said, great job. He should have taken a cue from Nicholson. Nicholson's not afraid to go and do a little bit part in broadcast news where he shows up for 5 minutes.
Again, even that part is pivotal to the movie. You could take the Don Rickles character completely out of that Casino movie, and it would be about 5 minutes shorter, and you wouldn't ever tell the difference. There's nothing there. The Jack Nicholson part, first of all, he also did that as a favor to James L. Brooks. Second of all, that's a pivotal role. The Don Rickles role is not. So again, would it have made sense for Jack Nicholson to take the Don Rickles role?
Does it not make sense for Martin Landau not to do a favor for Scorsese because it might pay off later?
He's not doing it. Why would he do him a favor? How about Martin Scorsese do him a favor and give him a fucking role rather than this chimp that stands there and holds the shotgun or dials the phone to Rothstein,
We've just compared him to a chimp. Holy shit!
All right. I want to hear from everyone out there. If you have an opinion on this, just give us a call. Let us know what you think about it. Chris is on the side of if there's no part for Landau, Scorsese picture or not, he was right for not taking it. My argument is simply BAPS. I mean that's it. It all comes down to that. I mean you can talk about your selective process, but you crucify yourself when you go and you take BAPS instead.
You've given BAPS more press than it ever deserved. I have a feeling BAPS will be like on the Netflix, rentals this week will just be, people, let's check out BAPS. I mean,
you know what? And BAPS isn't. I've actually seen BAPS, and Chris, you haven't seen BAPS, right?
No, I've never seen it. I don't have to see it. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. And it is a bad movie, and I think everyone that was in it agrees that it was a bad movie. I just don't see that was the lesser of two evils between that and working with Scorsese.
It's not
a movie that will live forever.
Evils. First of all, they don't know what the movie's going to be like. All they have is a script to go on. All they have is what's on paper. And maybe the Casino script, obviously it was really great because it's a great movie. And I've read the script and it's fucking amazing.
He was good on Entourage.
You never know. And hear me out here, but you never know what that BAPS script was like before they started making it into a movie. Martin Landau, his people maybe saw something in this. It did have Halle Berry attached to it, an up-and-coming, who is a movie star now. She was.
And also Robert Townsend directing.
Robert Townsend, a proven director.
Yeah, and Scorsese isn't, but yeah, go ahead.
I'm not saying that they're mutually.
No one's dissing
I'm just saying that one of them has a role, one of them has a challenge for him as an actor, the other one does not.
The only one dissing Scorsese is Landau. By turning that down.
He's not dissing him. I mean,
I would take it as a personal diss. I mean, look, this guy, what quality films was he doing?
We're never going to get Martin Landau on the
20 years. I think Landau's great. I like
someone that just won the Academy Award, that part, that's a diss. I don't care if you're Martin Scorsese. He's an actor, first of all. He's been around, for 50 years. He just won the Academy Award. Just like you're saying, he can do pretty much anything he wants to at this point. And you're going to offer him this fucking chimp role? No, thank you, dick. I'll go make BAPS, Maybe.
And he was in the Harlem Globetrotters on Gilligan's Island in 1981.
Well, you just illustrate his poor selection process. I mean, a chimp role is BAPS. At least he's in a movie that will live if he chooses Casino, a prestige project that keeps him in the spotlight with a lot better press than he would get from something like BAPS.
No, he wouldn't get any press from that role.
All right.
Do you remember that interview when the movie came out? The interview with Don Rickles?
No.
Yes, I do.
No.
Oh, wait a minute. There was no fucking interview with Don Rickles.
I remember. Wait, Don Rickles was on Arch Campbell. I do remember it was on local, but okay.
We have a caller. I don't think this is our guest caller because our guest caller is a different area code. But we have a call here from a 270 area code.
Go 270.
Okay. 270, go right ahead.
Okay, well, what I think is this. Okay, this is Neo.
Hey, Neo, this is an honor.
Hi.
It's an honor to hear your voice finally.
Well, what I think is this. Okay, Martin Landau made 1999, Space 1999. I watched it as a child, okay? The man, when he was young, could not intelligently decide what role to pick. And you expect him to now, when he is, decrepit and old? I mean, come on. I love him. He's a great guy. I still have my cards.
Mm-hmm.
I still have those cards. But honestly, I don't think he's capable of that kind of decision. I mean,
well,
you watch that.
And we see this time and time again, and it's called the Oscar curse. I mean, look at what has happened to, Cuba Gooding Jr. after he won the Oscar, the choices he's been making.
No doubt. That's all I have to say.